tuning into the Generational Gauntlet Top 5 Faves. This is the podcast where we give you our top 5 on a topic with a generational twist to it. My name is Matt Lambert, and I'm the host of this podcast. Each week, I bring in a guest who's from a different generation than me to discuss or debate our top 5 on a selected topic. Today, for the third time, I'm bringing back my friend and Gen Xer Steve Harley, the modern-day Benjamin Button or Dorian Gray, who just seems to keep aging in reverse. So, Steve, welcome back to the podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
You've been requested by multiple people to be on here again, but the one leading the charge is my daughter, Nora. She has
She
been a
has
big
good taste.
fan of yours. She
Yeah.
has good taste. She's actually upset that she's not on here with you today. She wanted to come on this episode. Steve, you can correct me if I'm wrong on any of this, but you and I have several things in common. I'm going to list those off.
Okay.
We're both huge Ohio State fans.
Yes.
We love The Office.
Yes.
We're both girl dads.
Yep.
And
Three
I
of them for me.
believe we're both huge fans of sports movies. Am I right on that one too?
Yeah, I like sports movies. Yep. I got a
So
good list for you too.
I was going to say, I love them. And our topic today is the top 5 favorite sports movies of all time. So this was one of the suggestions I received to the email address. Somebody said, hey, you got to cover top sports movies. So Steve and I are about to embark on what was, at least for me, one of the most challenging top 5s that I've done, because there's so many good sports movies. And Steve, I got to ask you, was this a challenge for you?
A little bit. I had some immediate pop-ups,
Okay.
like immediate, like, yeah, that's my top 5. And then I had to like pare down. And there's a lot of sentiment in here. You know what I mean? Like there's movies that are connected with certain stages of my life and things like that. So I had to some I had to weigh, some made it anyway, and some I just had to kind of put in my honorable mentions category.
I'm with you, because my list is probably like, when I looked at what are the top sports movies all time,
Mhm.
my list wouldn't match up with that. And that's okay. Like for me, it's similar to you. It's going to be things that match up with where I was in life when I saw the
Mhm.
movie and how it might be a little bit more impactful to me.
Right.
So for those listening, if you're a first-time listener, here's how the podcast works. Steve and I have each put together our own top 5 list on our favorite sports movies all time. I don't know a thing that's on his list. I do wonder if maybe one or two that I'm curious if they make it, but we're going to find out as we're recording this what our lists look like. Steve will kick things off. He'll give his number 5 movie, why it's his number 5. I'll give my number 5 and why, and then we'll keep going in that way until we get to each of our number 1s. So, Steve, before I ask for your number 5, you said you had some honorable mentions that made your
Yeah.
list.
Yeah. You
What
wanna
you
hear
got?
them now? Okay,
Yeah, hit
well,
me with them.
so I'm originally from the Cleveland area, so I got a couple Cleveland movies on there. One is Draft Day.
Ooh, that's a good one.
So yeah, it sure would be nice if the Browns could actually do well, but they don't. So Draft Day is basically the Browns version of the Super Bowl, 'cause so but we had a good draft last year, we really did. So yeah, Draft Day is a fun one. And then
Mhm,
hopefully my parents aren't listening to this, because I watched this movie at a time where I definitely should not have watched it. In elementary school, I didn't watch it at my parents' house. I went over to a friend's house and we watched the movie Major League, which is super inappropriate. Like I was in like 5th grade and I should not have been watching that, but I watched it. But, big Cleveland Indians movie,
mhm.
and incredible to, watch them have this team of nobodies and then they end up winning the pennant. So those were some Cleveland shout outs. A movie called The Natural,
Mhm.
but with Robert Redford. That was one of my honorable mentions. And then I ran cross country growing up, middle school, high school, college. So um, one of these is going to be funny because it's connected to cross country, and then the other one is a cross country movie. So the cross country movie I really liked is it's a recent one, sort of recent, McFarland USA. It was
That's
just
a
a really
good
fun
movie.
movie. Yeah, I thought it
Mhm.
was a great movie. And then this one is associated to cross country, but it has nothing to do with cross country in the actual movie. I watched this movie with my cross country team in high school to motivate us before a big meet, and it came out when I was in high school. It's the movie Rudy. Do you remember Rudy?
Oh,
He played for Notre
yeah, I
Dame
remember
football like a
Rudy.
walk-on. Yeah, I knew we actually like for our cross country practice, we went to the mall. We ran around the mall, ran some miles of the mall, and then went into the movie theater and watched Rudy. So those were some honorable mentions. I probably could put like a movie like Creed up there. That was a really good movie too. That didn't make my list. And then I have another honorable mention, but it'll be mentioned in my top five. So
Okay, that's fair.
yeah.
It's funny you mentioned The Natural. Did you
Mm.
watch that in school or did you watch that outside of school?
No, I watched it at my friend's house. The friend that I watched Major League. I also watched that movie there. Yeah.
Th We actually watched The Natural when I was in, I think, middle school. They
Yeah.
showed it to us as I don't remember if it was for history or
Mm.
health or something, but I remember watching it going, "There's nothing that ties into what we're talking about." Like, I
Right.
think the teacher's just bored.
Yeah.
I am glad that Rudy didn't make your top 5 because
Yeah.
I think Rudy I understand your reasoning for it.
It's
I
not a great
hate that
movie.
movie. It's
No,
not.
it's not a
It's
great
such a
movie.
bad movie.
But it has some, like, tie-in to my
That's
my
fair.
my childhood. So, yeah.
Well, Steve, talking about your tie-ins, what's your number 5 sports movie for you?
Yeah, number 5 does have some sentimental value as well, though. It's the movie We Are Marshall. It came out while I was living in West Virginia, and so, it was big at that time, like, the movie stars were coming in for it and things
Mhm.
like that. I remember looking and going, "Oh, I know that place," and things like that. We had a guy at the church I was pastoring, like, his grandfather was one of the guys who died in the plane
Hmm.
crash, so like, there was a lot of, like, connections there, so We Are Marshall was my number 5.
So, Steve, I don't know if you know this, I was actually a student at Marshall while the movie was
Mm,
being filmed. And I will say as a student, we had a little bit of a different perspective. Like you'd be walking around
yeah.
campus and things got interrupted for the production. Parking was at a premium. So
Yeah.
I, it was cool when I got to see it come out. I got to watch a special showing because my
Mm,
mom worked with somebody who was an extra in the film. So he
yeah.
actually rented out a theater. We got to watch it with him. But yeah, it's a good one. I'm sad I didn't think about that one. That should
I
be
thought you might have.
probably on my list.
Yeah. A little
It
surprised.
did not make my list. My number 5, you mentioned one of the movies in this series. I think you
Mm,
said Creed. My number 5 is Creed 3. And I'm gonna
okay.
say this from the rip. Actually, I'm gonna ask your opinion first. Do you consider Rocky and Creed the same franchise?
Ah, they're cousins. Yeah, we'll say that.
Cousins. I'm okay with that. I know there are some that try to separate them entirely. I think
Mm,
that's incorrect. I think you gotta
mm,
have them somewhere connected. Obviously, there's
yeah,
some crossover. This is the only film from Rocky or from Creed that makes my list for me. And it was
yeah,
2023's Creed 3. I think it's the best of the Rocky related films that I've seen. It's got decent reviews, 6.7 on IMDb, 89% on Rotten Tomatoes. And without trying to give too much of the plot away for people, Adonis Creed is retired from boxing and someone from his problematic childhood returns. You get a lot of friendship and familial drama mixed in with a boxing rivalry. At the box office, Creed 3 brought home $276 million. While it didn't win any awards, it did receive several nominations. And I think some people sleep on this film because it didn't have Stallone in it, but I feel like Jonathan Majors and Michael B. Jordan carried the movie. They both extensively trained for the film. They looked the part. I'm still trying to figure out how to get abs like they or like Steve Harley has. So Steve's, when we're off mic later, Steve's going to hook me up with some of his tips and tricks. But the final boxing match in this movie was incredible. I'm a sucker for a good soundtrack, and the Adonis interlude by J. Cole is straight fire. Listen to the clean version. Don't listen to the unedited. There's some stuff in there, but the song just matches up so well with the training scene. Both of their training camps that are shown in the training scene are excellent as well. I felt like this version of the Creed film was the most hip hop, which really spoke to me. And Steve, I'll tell you, so for me, for a movie to be on my list today, it had to be something I'm willing to watch again.
Mhm.
And I actually was just perusing through the channels like a month ago. This was on, and I watched the whole thing for the third time. If
Nice.
I'm willing to watch it 3 times, and if I've watched the training scene more times than I, am willing to admit as I've worked out, it's gotta make the list for me. So, Creed 3 is number 5. Have you seen all the Creed films?
No, so now I wanna go back and, watch Creed 3. I've not seen that one.
It definitely, watch it maybe on TV, not on a movie,
Mm,
because they clean up some of the language. I'll say
okay.
that. I mean, I think if you're aware of the franchise, it's a little more salty than the Rocky movies were.
Gotcha.
Well, dude, I'll kick it to you. What's your number 4?
Yeah, number 4, again, there's some sentimental value here. So, this movie came out in November of 2009, and just where we were in life, just a month earlier, my wife and I began praying about adopting a child,
Mhm.
and our youngest daughter was born in July of 2010. So, we saw this movie in the process of adopting, and it was the movie The Blind Side. Now
Oof.
we did not adopt, a 6'6", 300-pound lineman. We have a very petite daughter. But yeah, I loved the movie, and again, with the adoption storyline in there, it kind of, brought it probably a little bit higher on my list because of that. So yeah, I loved the movie, loved the storyline, loved seeing like the end when
Mhm.
he's actually getting drafted and things like that. So just a good movie. Yep.
That that's a good one. I do have to ask, are you and your wife, are you all big Sandra Bullock fans?
No. I mean, I like her all right. I mean, I don't dislike her. So, yeah, but we're honestly not huge movie people as much
Okay.
anymore. Just with life, we don't get to watch
Mhm.
as many movies and things like that. So, yeah, that's why like I don't know, when did you say Creed 3 came out? 2023?
2023, yep.
Yeah, yeah. So if you've got a recent movie on your list, I'm probably not connecting with it as well.
I will say that is the most recent movie I have on my top 5.
Yeah.
Um, my number 4, I'm going all the way back to 2012, and if you listen to the romance episode that my wife and I did, this made her list for her top 5 romance movies, and that's Here Comes the Boom, and I tried to avoid a lot of films that were more humorous, like things
Mm,
like Happy Gilmore, but there's a lot of things about this movie that I think it holds up and why it's in my top 5. For those that have not checked out the previous episode or you're not familiar with the film, this is following a cynical teacher played by Kevin James, who we're big fans of in this house. He's pretty much given up on his dedication to things. And when the school is losing money and the music director is going to lose his job, James decides the only way to make some cash is to fight in mixed martial arts. And that sounds wild, but there's a lot of actual MMA in the movie. Boss Rutan was in the movie. He's an MMA legend. Henry Winkler's in it. He's like the heart and soul of the film. The movie does not get a lot of love. So for anybody that's not seen it, if you Google it, you're going to see it had a 6.4 on IMDb, 42% on Rotten Tomatoes. It only brought home 71 million, but I'm going to tell you, disregard all of that and go check this film out. One of the things that a lot of people didn't know is that Kevin James actually trained in MMA for 14 months
mm.
leading up to this movie. He
He's
lost
actually a beast.
he is.
He's actually very, very agile for a big man.
Uh-huh. And he lost 70 pounds while training for this movie.
Wow.
For the UFC fans out there, these are some of the people that are in the film. So if you like the UFC, Joe Rogan's in it, Bas Rutten, Mark Munoz, Jason Mayhem Miller, Bruce Buffer, Christoph Szynski, Herb Dean, Mark Delagrati, Vanderlei Silva, Sonnen, and even the most famous ringside cut man, Stitch. Was the plot line a little over the top? Yeah. Was the last fight gimmicky? It was, but I'll be honest, I was here for all of it. It's hard to find a fighting movie that is family friendly, and this is about as family friendly of a fighting movie that you can watch. Some of the scenes aren't the most believable, but as somebody who is familiar with jujitsu, whose daughter trains, they did a really nice job of talking about how to get out of some of the submissions. So if you are a BJJ or an MMA fan, here's my plug. Go check out Here Comes the Boom, watch it with the family. I don't think you'll be disappointed. Steve, have you seen
I
Here Comes the Boom?
I have not, but I love how you said it only made $71 million. I'm like, I would love to only make $71 million, you
Well,
know?
in terms
I'm a
of a
pastor, so
movie,
I only make like 70 million, you know? I'm kidding for those listeners who are like, those mega church pastors, you know, there's like 3 people who make lots of money being a pastor. The rest of us are actually pretty normal people. Anyway, sorry.
you're fine. Steve, if you haven't checked it out, I do recommend like maybe having a date night. Having hey, forget a date night. Watch a movie with the family. I say watch it with
Yeah.
the kids. I'll hand it to you. What's your number three?
Alright, number 3, I'm gonna be surprised if this is not on your list, but it might not be. It's a pure classic, underdog story, and that would be the movie Hoosiers. Hoosiers.
Hoosiers is not on my list.
Oh, wow. Wow, that's like a classic sports movie. Goodness. Huh. Well, yeah, great movie, just, again, that small town Indiana team, I mean, based on a true story too, of, winning that state title when all those divisions were
Mhm.
together, you know? Yeah, I just thought it was a great I don't know, you know, you always love to watch those underdog stories, so it was a fun one for me.
I think this is where we're seeing a little bit of our generational divide. I think our last
Mm,
2 episodes, we had a lot of similarities in the last 2, and
yeah.
I think this one we're seeing some differences. So my dad is a huge Hoosiers fan,
Mm.
and I think because of that, I'm like, it's my dad's movie. I can't get down
Right.
with it." I'll be curious if you've seen or heard of my number 3, and
Okay.
that is the movie Cinderella Man.
I've heard of it. I It was a boxing movie, right?
It is. I was
Yeah.
hoping maybe you had seen it. It's
Um,
'05.
no, the guy from Gladiator, goodness, why can't I think of his
Russell
name? Was
Crowe.
he Yeah, he starred in it, right?
He did. He plays the
Okay.
story or the lead character of James Braddock in the movie.
Okay. I've
So
not seen it. I remember it when it came out though, yeah.
and it did really well. It had an 8.0 on IMDb. It's got an 80% score on Rotten Tomatoes, 108.5 million at the box office. Steve, if you haven't caught on, fighting movies are what I prefer in the
Right.
sports world. I'm a
Yeah.
big fighting guy. And I think my reason for liking fighting movies is I like when it focuses on one person. It's easier
Mm,
to follow their storyline for me.
gotcha.
And I loved this movie. If people are unfamiliar, James Braddock, this is a real guy. It follows his career during the Great Depression. And from a historical standpoint, the movie is very historically accurate. There's one part that's not. One of the guys they villainize, I think its name's Max Bayer, the guy that he's going to fight for the title. They make Max Bayer out to be a villain because he
Mm.
had unfortunately during 2 of his boxing matches had hit people so hard that they lost their life after the fight.
Wow.
They make it out that he's celebrating that when in real life this guy was haunted by what he had unfortunately done. Outside of that, the movie is spot on historically. Braddock was the heavyweight boxing champ of the world from 1935 until 1937. And for a 4-year stretch, he engaged in a career renaissance, surprisingly rising to the top of the boxing world. And they dubbed him the Cinderella Man for the fact that he upset Max Bayer, and who a lot of people thought obviously was the most dominant boxer at the time. Russell Crowe, super believable in this film. Renee Zellweger stars as his wife. Paul Giamatti plays as his trainer and promoter. Multiple awards for this film. Crowe won Best Actor for the
Mm.
Australian Film Institute Awards. Giamatti would win the Best Supporting Actor in 6 different award shows, including the Screen Actor Guild's Award and a Best Foreign Actor Award. And one of the things I love is they do a good job in the movie of showing from Braddock's point of view as he dissects his opponents. Oh, he's dropping his hands. I'm going to hit him
Uh,
here. Oh, he doesn't like when I, throw this combination. And it's just such a unique and realistic perspective in a movie. It was nominated for 3 Academy Awards. I mean, I could go on and on about all of the awards it won. the high remarks from viewers, I even just the fact that it's so historically accurate, for me, it had to rank in my top 5. It's a movie I've watched at least 5 or 6 times. I love the movie Cinderella Man.
Alright.
Steve, I hope I'm getting you to maybe add some movies to your list. So, Steve, what's your number 2?
Well, you mentioned this movie. I had to throw in a fun one, just a goofy, silly one that's based around sports, and I had to decide between 2 movies because I wasn't gonna put them both here. So I had to decide between Happy Gilmore and The Waterboy. And, so number 2 is Happy Gilmore. My goodness, I've seen it too many times and have quoted it way too many, well, mostly daily. I've quoted the movie. Uh, so there's so many little one-liners. It's just such a crazy, goofy, silly, funny, fun movie. Again, Waterboy's up there too, but I didn't think I should put 2 ridiculous Adam Sandler movies in my top 5, so Happy Gilmore would be my number 2.
Now, does Adam Sandler make your list anywhere else? Is he in your number 1?
No, 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 no.
Okay, because I actually think so. I agree with you. Happy Gilmore, I know there's a lot of shenanigans with it, but good movie. I think
Mm.
he has 2 other movies that are actually fantastic sports movies. Have you seen The Longest Yard remake?
Yeah,
Okay, so
yeah, I've seen that.
that's good, I think.
Yeah,
And have you seen Hustle?
no.
So Hustle is a Netflix film. Man, it dropped like a couple years back. I can't remember exactly. Ant Edwards is the antagonist in the movie.
Mm.
I will say it's one
And
of
in
those
real life.
movies, and in real life, yeah, I don't think he was acting. He was
Right.
just being himself. It's obviously a little salty with the language in the movie,
Mm,
but it follows a guy who is coming over from Spain who's trying to get into the NBA, and
mm,
Adam Sandler is either his, I don't know if it's his agent, his trainer, but really good movie. It actually would be in the honorable mentions for my list. It's the
gotcha.
most serious role I've ever seen Adam Sandler play. So it's
I
actually
don't know
a
if I
like
want a serious Adam Sandler. I don't know
that's
if I
fair.
wanna live in a world with a serious Adam Sandler.
That's fair.
Back
Well,
when we were, when you and I were going to church together and meeting
mhm.
in a movie theater, when we would set up every Sunday, I there had to be every Sunday at least one either Happy Gilmore or Dumb and Dumber or Billy Madison quote as we were setting things up for church. So somewhere on a Sunday morning, we were going to quote from one of those movies. So anyway, yeah, so many one-liners that I have from that. It's just fun. I did watch the Happy Gilmore 2 just for the nostalgia. Of course, it was, you know, it didn't even come close to equaling Happy Gilmore, but
I no, I
it was
agree with
fun.
you. I watched it, a while back, like, when it first came out, and I was the
Yeah.
same. I was like, "This is not to the level of the original."
I didn't expect it to. I knew it wouldn't, it was just more nostalgia, so
I think the best part of that movie was, I'm gonna draw a blank on his name, the John Daly. Like, he was wild in that movie.
yes.
Steve, you're probably gonna be able to guess this. My number 2 is another fighting movie, and have you seen the 2011 classic Warrior?
No. Man, you keep giving me movies, give me someone's name in that, I think
So, it's got Tom Hardy in it. You've
okay.
got, Nick Nolte, Joel Edgerton, Frank Grillo. It's an MMA movie.
Yeah. I j I'm not I haven't watched a lot of MMA, so yeah, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. So I'm gonna try to, sell you and the listeners on this movie. If people have not seen it, get prepared. I'm about to go on a rant. This movie has an 8.1 on IMDb, 84% on Rotten Tomatoes. It only brought home a little over 23 million at the box office, but this movie is incredible. To sum it up, it follows 2 brothers who both find their way into a 2-day martial arts tournament where the winner gets $5 million. Now, other than the premise of 2 brothers making their way into this tournament, everything else in the movie is super believable. The fights themselves are extremely realistic. There's a lot of jujitsu involved, and my daughter, who trains, really enjoyed the scenes with the submissions. There are 2 fights in particular in the movie that I don't know how many times I've watched them, because 'cause I've watched them as I hit the heavy bag, I've watched them as I've trained, because they're just so motivational. The last fight scene, I won't say a whole lot because I don't wanna ruin the movie for anybody, but the score that they used while showing that fight scene is just a chef's kiss. I will be honest, I got choked up the first time I watched it. It's just a fantastic end to the movie. All the characters in the movie are flawed in some way. Nobody's made out to be this picture perfect person. They've got some stuff they're dealing with, but in the fighting sense, you get to see an omoplata, a rolling knee bar, a guillotine, some arm bars, and some other submissions. I already mentioned it. The cast is just absolutely stacked. In addition to the famous actors, they put in some former fighters and wrestlers like Kurt Angle, Nate Marquardt, Anthony Rumble Johnson, RIP, Eves Edwards, and Rashad Evans. And the movie is even more realistic when you realize that Hardy and Edgerton both trained in MMA, boxing, jujitsu, and wrestling to prepare for their roles in the film. Both of them notably gained a ton of muscle mass, got in phenomenal shape, and Hardy actually continued to train in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, and he's now a brown belt in BJJ. Nick Nolte was nominated for an Academy Award for the film. He would win Best Supporting Actor at the San Diego Film Critics Academy, and the film also won a Prisms Award. I have lost track of how many times I've watched this movie. I've watched it with Madison. I watched it with Nora. We skipped a couple of the more scenes that weren't age appropriate. There were a couple of those that we skipped past. She loved the fight scenes. I've shown it to my in laws. I, I've recommended it to so many people for the realism, the motivations, and really the themes of these people overcoming their barriers, overcoming their struggles. It I I almost put it at number 1. It was very close to being number 1 on my list. I love this film. It's fantastic. So, Steve, I recommend you, check this film out.
Yeah, I've been missing out on a lot of, combat sports movies here apparently.
You know, when you have somebody in your house that's training in that world, I
Mm,
mean, she's not doing MMA, but the jujitsu, it
right,
does factor into a
right.
lot of the movies we're watching as a family.
Hmm.
Well, Steve, I will kick it to you. What is your
Yeah,
number 1?
my number 1, I don't know why, I just love this movie, like, it comes on TV a lot, and I just, like, "Oh, I'll just watch this for a little bit," and it's one, again, that you can with, like, kids in the room and stuff like that, and I know they really worked hard to tame it down because of it's based on a real situation, a real
Mhm.
story that probably could have made it a lot worse. Um, but it's the movie Remember the Titans, um, dealing with the racial tensions of school integration and just that team coming together and then winning in the end. It's just a fun movie, fun in some ways, but uh, kind of hard hitting in other areas. But it's fun watching them like come together and you know and win and all this stuff. But then also the backstory of what they went through and yeah, I enjoyed the movie. So Remember the Titans was my number one.
Steve, if I say left side, what do you say?
Oh, strong side, is that what they say? I can't
Yeah,
remember now.
or, you got the speech, "Don't let let them gain another yard." Haven't you seen a football injury, you wimps? So, Steve, I'll say this to anybody listening, we don't plan out our top 5s. I have
Mhm.
the same exact number 1 as you.
Yes,
Remember the
we finally
Titans,
got one we agreed
we
on. All right.
do, and it was the
I
number
really am
1.
surprised you didn't have We Are Marshall on there, but yeah, yeah. All
Th
right.
this
Sorry, go
film
ahead.
for oh, no, you're good. This film for me, not just sports, it's probably my favorite movie of all time. So,
Oh,
you
wow.
mentioned Rudy with your cross country team. Our cross country team, Remember the Titans, was our Rudy.
Yeah.
Our coach would make us watch it in as we traveled to meets, and we got to where we could quote the movie. So, if anybody has not watched this film, I mean, 1, it's been around for a while. It was the year
Mhm.
2000, so it's 26 years old, but it holds up,
It
7.8 on
does.
IMDb, 72% on Rotten Tomatoes, brought home
Should be higher.
136.8 million at the box office. I agree with you, it should be higher, According to Wikipedia, and we know
Mhm,
Wikipedia is the best source out there, it says that the movie was not originally well received by many, but now is viewed as one of the greatest football films of all time.
mm.
I One of my favorite actors ever is in the movie, and that's Ryan Gosling. I'm just kidding. He is in the movie. He's not my favorite. Denzel Washington is one of my
Yes.
favorite actors, and he is just fantastic in the movie.
Mm,
If you're like, I'll only watch a movie if it's got awards, this movie won 8 awards, including Best Actor for Denzel at the BET Awards, Best Actor for Denzel and Best Screenplay at the Black Reel Awards, and Outstanding Motion Picture at the NAACP Awards. Steve already mentioned it. It covers things such as integration, it covers things like racism, but you said it, Steve. It does such a nice job of not that you want to sugarcoat things, but to make it okay for a younger audience to
right.
watch, and you feel okay showing a younger child that movie.
But still, like, you still feel the gravity
Mhm.
of what they were going through. Yeah, they I mean, obviously, they had to tone down the language of
Yeah.
to make it a Disney film of what these students and
Mhm.
coaches were actually hearing. But yeah, I thought they did a great job of making it so a family could watch it, yet still bringing the seriousness of
Mhm.
what they were going through into it. Yeah.
Have you ever seen Glory Road about the UTEP men's
Mm,
basketball team?
no, I don't think so.
The reason I bring that up, it reminds me a lot of Remember the Titans, but without removing some of the
Hmm,
things that you might not want a very young child to hear. Because I
yeah.
remember we showed Nora Glory Road, and I had to have a conversation with her before the movie, like, "Hey,
Yeah,
there's gonna be stuff if I skip some of this, you're not gonna understand the gravity of the movie."
right.
And we had to have a very serious talk beforehand about what things you're gonna hear and see, but,
Mhm,
I agree with you. Remember the Titans does all of that, but in a more well, I guess the movie is PG, so in a
yeah,
PG fashion.
yeah.
So, Steve, I gotta ask you, man, as we wrap up today, any complaints on my list?
I mean, just that I haven't seen them. So
I feel like this just means you have homework now. You need to,
I guess
like,
so.
sit down and watch some movies, let me
Right.
know what you think, give me some grades on them.
Yeah, I mean, I am a little disappointed you didn't throw in like an Adam Sandler movie just for yours were very serious. So, I guess Here Comes the Boom.
It's not serious.
I'm sorry, that's one. You're right. All right. You got that
I
in there.
I did, and like I said, I was really close to putting the serious Adam Sandler movie on there. Hustle would
Yeah,
probably be number 6 for me. It's an
yeah,
incredible movie.
gotcha.
Well, Steve, I appreciate you coming back on here. While we only post audio, Steve is on video, so I'm being graced with his presence of, what
Poor
appears to be his 20-year-old appearance. He ages backwards. He is the Dorian Gray of my life. I just don't understand it. But Steve, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule and coming on here with me.
Yeah, thank you, my pleasure.
And I appreciate all of you all for listening. Please subscribe, leave us a 5-star review, and let someone know to check this thing out. This was another one of those topics that we covered that has been sent to the email address. If you've got topics that you'd like covered, please continue to send those in. And you can send those to the address generationalfave5@gmail.com. That's generational, FAVE, the number 5 at gmail.com. Thank you all for tuning in.